4th year as head coach, coaching a team that can try a man's soul. Previous 7 years, licensed to enjoy the game and play the way it's supposed to be played. Same starting lineup. At time, that was the highest a high school player to ever been picked in the draft. Out of East St. Louis, Illinois, and the Suns get the first crack at it. The leading assist man in the NBA, Steve Nash, will set it up, brings it off to Amari. Amari will hand off to Joe Johnson. They'd like to get him started. He's only been shooting 28% in the last 6 games. Back out to JJ, 7 on the shot clock. Quentin's going to move in, goes baseline. Too deep, didn't have a shot, and picked off by Abdul Rahim.
Well, and Q is going to see defenses like that as Sean gets his hand on a pass. They're going to step up and make him put it on the floor.
Back it comes to Joe Johnson. He pops, doesn't get it to go. Rebound by Miles. I tell you, that deflection a moment ago by Marion reminds me that he is 6th in the NBA in steals. 56 at the start of the night.
You know, the guy is a stat stuffer and an unselfish stat stuffer. Not all offensively. He gets it done defensively as well with stealing the basketball and block shots.
Van Exel was 0 for 4 last night in the win, and you worry about him when he goes 0 for 4 the night before.
You worry about him when he's on the court, period. I don't care if he goes 0 for 10. He can stick a dagger in a hurry.
Look at this. Nash sets up Amari beautifully. We just take that for granted anymore.
Yeah, you do. You know it's going to happen because, and other teams do as well. They're so worried about Steve Nash passing the basketball, and he still finds players.
Eric Anderson now bringing into Zach Randolph. Randolph played very little last night. He's been having tendonitis in the knee. At Darius Miles, a guy who really didn't have a grasp of how to play this game coming out of high school, but starting to get better.
He really is. He's starting to grow. His jump shot has improved every year, and he's gotten himself into the starting lineup. Didn't start early on.
Marion trying to feed it inside, and it's picked up. Here comes Derek Anderson. Here's another guy who scored points in a hurry. Miles is going to pop again. And Miles is a close friend of Quentin Richards, is probably saying, hey, I want to show you what I can do.
Well, he's got 2 head dunks to none right now.
Okay, 4-2, the early advantage to Portland. Handoff to Nash, return, pick and roll. Amari, and he follows his own shot and tips it in.
A la Sean Marion, who makes a living out of going after his missed shots.
Isn't that amazing, a guy that size, Eddie, that can get up that quickly and able to follow that miss? We're tied at 4. Off it comes to Miles. He dumps it into Randolph. Miles again. He's got the hot hand. Not this time. Tipped up, and Sharif Abdul-Rahim gets the tip.
When Sharif Abdul-Rahim came in the league, he was probably 25 pounds less than what he is now. And Sean Marion's going to have his hands full all night long and just keeping him off the glass.
He's had elbow problems, but has come back down. Has been playing very well. 26 points last night, and Amari continues to impress, and he ties it at 6.
You know, he's going right at Zach Randolph, and I think that's a good move. You'd love to get Zach in foul trouble.
And Randolph, who last year was one of 5 players in the league to average a double-double, gets a little running hook, and it's 8-6 Portland. So team just matching shots right now. Nash into Amari. Amari has to track it down, and he goes up, and he's going to draw the foul. Boy, it looked like he had no chance to recover on that play and still gets to the free throw line.
But he's extremely quick, and he's hungry to score, and that's why you never second-guess a score, because it can be a bad pass, and they can lose the handle, but the ability to want to get it in the bucket will always give him a chance to get the basketball.
Abdul-Rahim commits the foul at the start of the night. 72% for the free throw line for Amari as he misses there. Suns played their only game this year in Portland. They'll play them only 3 times this year. Of course, Portland moving to the new division, the Northwest Division. And they won that game because Q just literally lit it up. Out it comes to Van Exel, who played last year in Golden State. Got a bad boy reputation, but he is a talent.
He's a gamer.
Yes, he is. Here's Anderson, picked up by JJ. Anderson pulls it up into the corner. Abdul-Rahim, 5 on the shot clock. There's that spin move of his, and the rebound, Randolph, and that's what he does. He has a presence in the paint.
You're right, and anytime Rahim gets the ball and starts to maneuver like that, Randolph is going to get on that weak side.
JJ needs that to go. A 3, not able to find the mark, and you just want him to get back on track. Really struggling with his shooting. Talking about the other day, Eddie wasn't getting the looks he wanted, but there was a great look there. All deflected by Quentin, and Marion comes up with it. Nash back the other way. Out to Quentin. Makes the three, moves in against his friend, and uses the glass. And Miles says, wow, I didn't see you do that very often.
And he's going to have to do that more as the season goes on because teams are going to get up on him. Quentin building the reputation of wanting to take the three more than anything else. Put it on the floor that time.
Blazers now up by 2, 10-8. From outside, Miles again, and the rebound by Joe Johnson. One of the things Johnson has done, he's continued to rebound even though he hasn't shot well. And there's Q with the three ball, the first of the night. And Q is proud on the three-point zone at Fulton Homes with another $150 to Suns charity.
Well, that's 2 head thumps apiece now. We'll keep track. They're going to give me a headache for the night.
You can have an Excedrin headache before it's all over. Here is Randolph now. Randolph, who was the most improved player in the league last year. He was sitting on the bench virtually for 2 years. There's Derek Anderson, can't get it. Abdul-Rahim had it blocked by Amari, but there to recover it was Zach Randolph.
They're tough, and that's one of the keys. You've got the defensive rebound. Keep these guys off of the glass.
Look at the offensive boards. 5. There's Amari. Powers it in. Off balance, it still got it to go. Well, Zach Randolph is 4th in the league in offensive rebounds. So they are a good rebounding team, but Randolph doesn't jump well. He just positions himself with that big body.
That's it.
Here's Anderson now with a 2 and won't go. And there's a follow by Darius Miles. And Miles has come out here, Eddie, and scored 6 quick points.
Well, again, the advantage that they're going to have all game long is their ability to get to the offensive glass. They have a lot of quickness on the floor.
Sean Marion misses everything thus far. Portland with 8 second chance points. And that's that rebounding we're talking about, those offensive boards. Here's Randolph, brings it out now to Van Exel, the southpaw, shoots it badly. Rebound by Amari, and stolen by Randolph. And Randolph able to make it pay, and he gets him a 3-point lead.
You know what, Mike D'Antoni can't be upset with that because the Suns, they want to get the ball to Nash in a hurry. That's probably the second time all year that pass has been picked off.
Marion missing. Marion is only 4 of 23 shooting the last 2 games, averaging only 7.5 points. He's missed a couple here early. There's a steal by Nash. Nash pokes it away. Here we go, the other way. Holds it up to Joe Johnson. Feed to the trailing Amari. It's a 1-point game.
Well, at the rate this game is going, both teams might score 130.
This is fun, isn't it? And we're in high school, but he can become a better shooter. He will really be something because he's extremely quick.
Yes.
Abdul-Rahim brings it out now as we all caught our breath after this fireworks early. Sharif moves in. There's that spin move. I'm telling you, that's a patented move of his. Here's a rebound by Sean Marion. Brings it out to Nash. Nash surveys the court to Casey Jacobson, who just checked in. And Case to the hole. Top break on the shot. Beautifully executed. It just would not go.
Well, he was thinking about the bump that he was going to get, and no one touched him.
And Derek Anderson, the nice feed from Van Exel. And it's 18-15. I'll tell you, Portland has not backed down tempo-wise. They're staying right with the Suns in the early going.
When you look at the group that they have on the floor, Gary, I mean, these guys have to like this tempo that the Suns play with. I'm sure they were looking forward to this game, and it's shown.
Nash now off to Marion, feeds inside. Stephen Hunter, who came in, had it partially blocked. He thought he was fouled. No call. It goes back to Portland. Inside it goes to Randolph. Bounces into Marion, blocked by Stephen Hunter. It'll be Portland ball, but Stephen Hunter with the rejection, his 33rd of the year.
Yeah, and what the Suns have to be careful about, and Sean Marion, this with the block there, which was probably a foul, but Sean Marion got bailed out by Stephen Hunter. He allowed Randolph to get the ball too deep off the fast break. You can't allow that to happen.
Abdul-Rahim gets in deep, and they lose the handle. It'll go back to the Suns. Looked to me like Darius Miles did foul Hunter at the other end. Joel Prisbilla is going to come into the next break for Portland.
Stephen's not going to get the respect Amari does, and he has to understand that and just play through it.
So at the early going of this game, we're at a fast pace. 18-15 in favor of Portland. Q trying to tie it. Cannot. Randolph for the rebound. He's averaging 10-6 a game and a steal by Q. Q with the deflection back to Stephen Hunter, and that's kicked out of bounds by Darius Miles. Here comes Joel Prisbilla into the game. He started last night. He had 6 rebounds. Fifth-year man out of Minnesota, signed as a free agent this year. And Abdul-Rahim will check out. Rahim still probably playing himself back into shape because he had so many games out with the elbow. And had a big game last night, 26 points. Here is Q on the fly. Beautifully done. That's two Eddies kissed off the glass.
You know, that's the part of his game that I don't think the fans here have seen yet, because Q has been behind the arc on a lot of his field goal attempts, but the guy can get it done on all facets of the offensive game.
You got to pick your poison with him. That one not going out. It comes now to Nash. Nash seeing the entire court. Q again. And there's a good example. Inside and out. Another three. And Fulton Holmes donates another $150 to Suns Charities.
Well, transition, the Suns will kill you. And Portland has to find out where Quentin Richardson is on the floor. And they lost him that time.
Did they ever? Van Exel brings it out to Randolph. Randolph will put it on the floor. Flat shot. Brisbilla with the reload inside. Not able to get it. They dig it out again. Randolph. Suns have got to get a rebound. And it's going to eventually go off of Portland. Boy, they were tenacious inside.
Well, you know, and it's a tough battle. And when you have to block out guys that outweigh you by 20 and 30 pounds, it's very difficult.
Suns have been out-rebounded here in the early going, 16-6, and a lot of those have been offensive boards. Off it comes to Nash, dunks it into Q. Q, turnaround. This time, couldn't quite get it off the glass. Q already with 10 points in this game. Stoudemire with 10. Nobody else for the Suns has scored except Stoudemire and Quentin Richardson.
Nice balance scoring.
Yeah. Here's Anderson, baseline. And I tell you, Darius Miles is going to try to prove something tonight.
He can play. I think the key thing with Darius Miles has been confidence and probably being let down by being moved.
Yeah, he's bounced around.
No doubt about it. And I think, you know, once he's settled, I think he's going to be a fabulous player.
He was bouncing around for the first 3.5 seasons in this league. There's Marion, can't get it, stays with it, still can't get it. Sean just not getting anything to go for him. Marion 0 for 4. 14 of the 20 points in the paint for Portland. And Exel with a flat shot. Miles comes down to the rebound. Miles brings it in. He says, Q, you know, we're good buddies. You lit us up the last game. I want to show you I've got game too. Here's Van Exel. Brisbilla feeds in. Nice pass to Randolph. Randolph is just a hard worker inside.
He really is. When Stephen Hunter had his head turned that time, he has to be able to see man in bulk.
2-point lead now intended for Hunter, broken up by Randolph. Out it comes to Van Exel. Van Exel leading Randolph. Randolph isn't a great jumper. That may be hard to get done. He hardly got off the floor that time. Then they get Randolph, who sneaks back on the floor and is fouled. They forgot about Randolph, who had fallen down behind the basket. He came back in to play and almost got a basket and was fouled.
He hit me a number of times.
He was a man inside. I mean, no one wanted to be around him. 9 offensive rebounds, 10 second chance points for Portland as Randolph hits the free throw. There's Maurice Cheeks. His number is retired. He played with Mark Ibaroni in that 83 NBA championship team in Philadelphia. Boy, he was an outstanding defender. I think he
really
retired as the all-time leading steals leader.
Yeah, well, in one area he didn't get credit for, he's a great distributor as well, because he had some offensive talent on that team.
So Randolph gets both. It's a 4-point lead, a little pressure to backcourt now. Portland kind of surprising him there.
Well, with Steve Nash out, they're going to do that. They understand Leandro Barbosa is out of the game, and their plan is, once Steve Nash goes to the bench, is to put pressure on the Suns to run down the shot clock.
Good eye. It's a very good point, Eddie. And here is JJ, and we're going to have a foul by Johnson over the back. Boy, JJ and Marion just need to have a shot going for them. We have Joe Johnson 0 for 3, Marion 0 for 4. Here comes Damon Stoudemire in the lineup now, replacing Van Exel.
You know, and the one thing that Joe, I wish he starts to develop, and I think he will, is he's got to get mad. You know, when I started off a game, you know, thought I got fouled a couple of times, I'd get a tech. You know, I don't know if Joe Johnson has a technical foul in his career, but sometimes you have to just get mad, and I think that forces you to step up your game a little bit.
Well, you're mad at me all the time. I thought maybe that's just the way you always were. Brisbilla now, a little jump hook inside. I was taking it personally. I'm glad to know it was all
No, it's a plan.
ahead.
It's a plan.
Okay.
You know, if you've taken up too much room over here, I'll let you know about it.
Biggest lead of the game now for Portland at 6. Amari can't get it. Stephen Hunter tried to come up with it. Here's Ruben Patterson, a strong game last night, 18 points. He's always been tough for the Suns. They got it in deep. Abdul Rahim was in deep. There was nothing they could do.
Well, it's nothing. You know, they might have arguably one of the best benches in the game. It's definitely up there at the top. I mean, when you come off with Patterson, and Stoudemire, I mean, it's hard to match that.
Well, they had 57 points, Eddie, to back up your point last night from the bench. And there's a way to come back. Nice feed to Amari. And Amari now with 12 points.
I think teams pretty much know now that Amari's going to get his numbers. And I think teams are going to take the approach as San Antonio did and maybe try to get up in the face of the Suns' other players and not allow everyone to have a good game.
Last shot now this first quarter. Derek Anderson, Casey Jacobson playing some good D. Damian Stoudemire feeds in to Patterson, and they got it off.
The Trailblazers inside the paint. One of the keys was interior defense. Right now, 20 points in the paint.
Yeah, and they have 9 offensive rebounds. It's given them a lot of those points. Portland with 20 rebounds to the Suns 7 overall. There's Damian Stoudemire. Stoudemire went into a shooting slump, lost his starting role, but last night was 4-4 from three-point land, and he just struck from 3 there.
Well, he's been in this area before where he's had to come off the bench, and he's an offensive player, so he's going to stay productive.
And Casey answers at the other end, and Fulton Holmes will donate another $150 to Suns charity. Casey's really been shooting the ball well. Ruben Patterson counted, and it'll be a foul as Shawn Marion tried to duck outside. Casey Jacobson has been shooting 60% from three-point land in the last 8 games.
And the Suns are going to need that type of production from Casey, especially with Leandro Barbosa out of the lineup right now. They're going to need that. But the thing that they can't put up with is transition defense. You know, as I stated, I think as you go around the league and the Suns have, teams are going to make adjustments. And I think the one secret against a running team over the years has been you have to run them as well. And I think the Portland Trailblazers have come out and said, well, you know what? If they're going to run us, we're going to try to take advantage of them in transition, and they have had the upper hand so far.
Patterson missed the free throw, but Portland comes up with it. Patterson has always been a handful for the Suns. The first game this year had 15 points. There's an offensive foul against Priscilla, moving screen, and that'll give it back to the Suns. Suns down 35-25.
Someone else is going to have to find a hot hand because 2 players aren't going to get it done, and you have to believe that Shawn Marion or Steve Nash probably will be those guys, but you hope Joe Johnson can get it going as well.
Have you, would you ever believe, though, that only 2 guys would have scored after 1 quarter of play? And there's the follow. And beautiful follow. Shawn Marion coming inside with a follow. And finally, a third Sun is in the scoring column. And the shot from outside, they come right back again. And this Portland team is not intimidated in any way as Stoudemire hits it.
As a basketball player, you enjoy playing against teams that run the ball. And the Suns have shown the ability to overcome any odds this year at doing that as Shawn Marion gets free again.
Yes, sir. And that could get him ignited. 37-29. Marion with 4 points in the ball game. Marion had missed his first 5 shots. In it comes Priscilla. Priscilla rejected by Stephen Hunter. And it comes down to Marion 3-on-1 to the trailing Amari. A ballot gonna count. Oh, another one of those incredulous shots by Stoudemire, and a chance at a 3-point play.
And the key with Amari Stoudemire it's been this way ever since the end of last year. He concentrates. There's Stephen Hunter doing what he does best. Amari Stoudemire never settles for just 2 free throws. He keeps his concentration. He understands how to get the ball off the backboard to get it in the rim.
I mean, it's amazing as he misses the free throw. Stoudemire at 14 points. He is 0 for 3, though, at the free throw line. Stephen Hunter has 3 blocked shots here in the early going.
Stephen Hunter, if you want to look at an MIP, a most important player, he's probably been that guy for the Suns off the bench because they didn't know that he would give them what he's given them this year.
No question. Cleveland waived him. They didn't think so either. Long shot by Telfair, the rookie out of Brooklyn we talked about. He missed it. We got a foul inside. And the foul is going to go on Stephen Hunter. Go back to the shot by Amari.
Well, he knew he was going to take a hit. I mean, Amari knows he's going to get hit. So when he goes into that area, he's thinking, how am I going to get the ball up off the glass? And that's the ability of a great player.
Telfair dumps it off now to Stoudemire. They have a really small backcourt right now, and Stoudemire's heating it up, and he can do that. He earlier this year had a 33-point game. Off it comes down to Casey Jacobson. Baseline, it comes to Marion. Suns down by 8. 9.5 minutes to go in the first half, and right now they're being matched trip for trip by this Portland team. The Blazers with 13 points off the bench, but it's been the Amari Stoudemire show, 16.
He just makes it look too easy. You know, it's ridiculous.
It's so much fun. I mean, it's just, it gets to the point you just never tire of watching this guy play. Here's Sharif, batted away. Amari got it off his person. It'll go now to the Suns. Nice defensive effort by Stoudemire. Randolph getting ready to check in now for Portland. Joe Johnson still looking to score in this ball game. Tries to shake Stoudemire. He'll pull up, and that breaks the scoring ice. And quickly they throw it out, and Marion caught him and comes up with it to Amari. Amari back the other way. Spin move, and he's fouled by Przybilla. The line is Stoudemire. The Suns in the second quarter have hit 6 of 7, and they have 10 fast break points in this game. And as an end result, they're starting to make one of their patented surges.
You know it, and you expect it. And I'm sure the Portland Trail Blazers do as well. And that's a goal of theirs, probably to limit those type of runs that the Suns do get on.
Suns have been doing a lot of substitution. Nash has played only 11 minutes of the game, has not taken a shot. Now the Suns on a 10-2 run in this quarter have made it a 2-point game. And it comes now to Patterson. Patterson, who has a Tiger's heart. I mean, he will battle you. Here is Damon Stoudemire, brings it outside to Telfair. Terrell Fair goes in. And they like this guy. He was the all-time leading scorer in New York City history. Broke the record of Kenny Anderson, who we've all watched so many years in the NBA.
Well, you know, and once he gets that jump shot down, his ability to get to the bucket we just saw there, he will be difficult to guard.
Inside, beautiful pass by Joe Johnson, and Amari steps it home. That was very pretty.
I guess Amari didn't get enough to eat on New Year's Day because they are feeding him.
20 points already, Eddie, in 12 minutes. Here's Telfair again, brings it out now to Randolph. Stoudemire and Telfair both at 5'10", playing in the backcourt, and both of them are playing big. 43-39. Stoudemire now with 9 for Portland. The other Stoudemire. Here's Stephen Hunter. Hunter, nice reverse. Beautifully done.
Excellent foot movement right there. He put a clinic on Zach Randolph.
I tell you, the guy just every once in a while really surprises you. Look at the Suns. They're shooting well, but so's Portland. 2-point lead now. 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. Telfair gets it out to Stoudemire. Look out. He's feeling it. Doesn't get this one. Rebound by Joe Johnson. Joe hurrying up the floor. Dribbles between 2 defenders. Casey from the corner. And the 3 rims out. Marion hustle rebound. In it comes to Hunter. Hunter lays it in and give credit to Shawn Marion.
You're right. You get the ball in a situation like that, you immediately look under the basket because it was a mad scramble. Shawn Marion did what you're supposed to do.
After trailing by 11 in this game, they've tied it at 43. Inside 7 minutes to go in the first half of play. Stoudemire out to Abdur-Rahim, who came back into the ball game. Damon Stoudemire, and we're going to have a foul inside. And they're going to call it on Stephen Hunter. Steve Nash is going to come in. Let's go back to this hustle rebound by Shawn Marion.
Yeah, and I like this game. This is one of these games that you love to be around to see. I mean, the good hustle there. And as soon as Shawn Marion got it, he looked underneath the basket, and Stephen Hunter did what any big guy's supposed to do. Keep it high, go strong.
Hunter with 4 points after coming off a 10-point performance in New Orleans. He comes out now. Quentin Richardson comes in. So the original starting 5 now into the ball game for the Suns. And Miles has come back in. He came in and played so well early, scoring 8 points.
You know, the Suns bench helped. I mean, the Portland bench has put up a bunch of numbers so far in the game, 17. But Stephen Hunter and Casey Jacobson at least got 7.
Nice poke away by Joe Johnson, and he's fouled on the way up to the basket.
Get mad, Joe.
And so JJ will go to the line. Has 2 points in the game at the free throw line for the first time. Nick Van Exel is going to come back in for Portland. Suns thus far at the line 2 of 5, as Stoudemire has been the only one there thus far.
You know, how would you like to be Steve Nash and Joe Johnson in this game? I mean, you know, you would think the starting point guard goes out and you say, okay, I got a little breather. But, you know, you come in with Damon Stoudemire for Nick Van Exel, then Telfair comes in, he's quick, and then they come back with Nick Van Exel.
I tell you what, Eddie, they look like a team that should be better than 14-14.
They do, but you know the key and the differences between these two is the Suns have learned to play with one another a lot quicker. Will be a dangerous basketball team at the end of the season, the Portland Trail Blazers.
Suns have taken the lead, 45-43, and that ball deflected out. 10 seconds on the shot clock now for Portland. Here's one of the guys who'll get better because Miles is starting to develop. He's in his 5th year. He's only 24 years old after coming out of high school. Came in the league, the Clippers, traded over to Cleveland. Just bouncing around. Here is a follow away by Stoudemire, and Abdul Rahim with great touch with the follow has tied it up.
Again on the glass, but just to go a little bit further on that point I made about this team playing slow now, because their point guards love to shoot the ball. That slows it down at times.
How is that for a deluxe assist? A typical Steve Nash assist.
They're not going to block many shots. I mean, Theo Ratliff is a heck of a shot blocker, but he is not in uniform. Zach Randolph and Abdul Rahim between them only have 25 combined block shots on the season.
Ratliff, who led the NBA in block shots for the 3rd time in the last 4 years. Abdul Rahim can't get it to go. Amari rips it down off to Nash to the trailing Marion. Beautifully done. And Suns basketball is again
day dinner with Emmitt Smith at his home yesterday.
Boy,
I was pumped up.
You know what? He plays the game with such passion.
Yes, he does. And I hope he continues to play. You know, I know that's what he's thinking about. But, hey, you can do what he can do as he did this year. Why not?
I agree. Here's Miles backing down. He got his buddy Quentin backed into where he wanted him, and it's a 2-point game. The Suns in this quarter, Eddie, shooting 85%. But they only lead by 2.
Well, the problem is, and we know they can score, is defense. That's an area the Suns have to continue to get better at.
Joe Johnson battling to try to come up with it. Nash digs it out. 7 on the shot clock. Nash goes in, feeds Amari. Amari a little off balance. Joe Johnson tries to get it. Shot clock expired. Did he get it down? They're going to count it. They're going to count it. 51-47. Boy, I tell you, that was close.
You know, he is close to catching Shaquille O'Neal in dunks in one game. I know he's 2nd in the league in dunks. I don't know how many he's behind, but he has about, what, 4 or 5 already.
Derek Anderson hurt his left hand or something. He was holding it down to his side. Looks like he'll be okay. There he has the ball now. Tries to feed inside. Broken up by Marion with another steal. JJ ahead. Floats through the air. Count it? No, they're going to call a travel. A travel on Joe Johnson.
That's the toughest position to be in, as Joe Johnson was on that play. But let's take a look at Amari first. I mean, here's the hustle here. Here's the first attempt. I thought maybe he got fouled there. Joe Johnson hits the ball on the rim on his rebound, and, well,
but they didn't. The shot clock continued on, though.
Well, you know, I think the officials saw that it hit it, and they didn't want to stop play there, so they let it continue and then gave him the dunk.
Derek Anderson has come out of the game. He hurt the hand, so he's come out. You can see 10 turnovers now by the Trail Blazers. 3:54 to go in the first half. Suns up by 4, their biggest lead of the game. They trail earlier by 11. Randolph, the southpaw. Sometimes he's not pretty, Eddie, but he's very effective.
And I think Amari's got to get on his left hand. I know he will go right because he loves to score, but make him go to his right. He is very tough to guard when you let him go on his dominant side.
51-49. Look at the Suns and Trail Blazers for the game. Suns in the second quarter have just been lighting it up. Here's Amari, tracks it down, hustle play. Joe Johnson thought about a 3. He's cut off, gets it out now to Q. Q will go into the corner, and the shot misses. Joe Johnson digs it out. Did not hit the iron, so there's 12 seconds on the shot clock. A feed intended for Q. They've got 8 seconds left now. Marion knows that, wheels in, tried to get to Joe Johnson, broken up. It'll be Suns ball, but only 2 seconds on the shot clock.
It's good to have and good to see, but it doesn't help in negotiations.
You don't like that. I can tell you weren't impressed at all.
Well, I couldn't use it in negotiations. I mean, I played here with the Suns, and we knocked another one down.
That's an amazing play because they had 2 seconds on the shot clock. Amari on the inbound went up and hit it, and he's got a chance at a three-point play.
Well, you know, he's on one of those runs where it seems like he is going to have an unbelievable game offensively. They really haven't found a way to get it done with Amari Stoudemire.
Well, they tried to pull his jersey off, and it didn't even make any difference. But he's struggling at the free throw line. He's 2 of 6. Suns have out-rebounded the Blazers in this quarter, 8-2. The two Stoudemire's having a good game in this quarter particular. Amari with 10 points. Now make it 12 points and 9 points for Damon. Out it comes to Van Exel. He gets Nash in the air, deflected out. Good hands that time by Shawn Marion.
There again, he leads the team in deflections, and you see why. He always has his hands and his eye on the basketball. Ball and man. That's what they teach you when you're young to play defense. Shawn Marion does it well.
It's amazing. He comes in to start the night, Eddie, with 56 steals and 55 blocks. That's a very unusual statistic to have for one player.
You know, I know Steve Nash has gotten a lot of the credit for this team's turnaround, but you take a look at Shawn Marion's numbers across the board. He dominates in the offensive and defensive category.
Miles with a tough shot, doesn't get it. Marion back the other way. Leaves it for Amari. Here's Q. Q will take it to the hole. And even Amari's acting like a point guard.
He gives it up. I mean, and I think his teammates appreciate it. And I think Amari knows that if he does give it up, then that means he will get it more.
5 rebounds, 24 points, and 2 assists, 16 fast break points for the Suns. And the foul's going to go on Amari Stoudemire.
You know, I mean, he could have really got aggressive in taking the ball to the bucket himself. He has 24 points on the night. No one would have complained, but he is very active in getting the ball to his teammates.
Portland will inbound, and it comes now to Randolph on Stoudemire. That was his first personal foul. Miles dumps it in to Abdul Rahim. He played at California. He broke a lot of records, all Pac-10 player. There's the 4th steal of the game for Marion, and he continues to hammer it in.
You always wonder, because all I did was just take it in and lay it up off a steal like that, but I always wonder what goes through a dunker's mind when they're wide open like that. You know, I mean, what kind of dunk I'm going to do? You know, and I never had to do that.
18 fast break points. There's Q. Only fun with the Suns. 57-49. 1:47 left to go in the first half. Van Exel back in, feeds it into Abdul Rahim, broken up by Q. Boy, the Suns are really doing a good job stealing the basketball. Out it comes to Nash. Miles will come after him. Nash still has not taken a shot, and that's blocked from behind by Darius Miles.
And you know the amazing thing, I watched Steve Nash in warm-ups, and he was working very hard at working on his jump shot from behind the arc, off the dribble. He was working with Jackson Vroman. And I tell you, he probably made 88 to 90% of his shots. So you would think, man, I'm on tonight. I'm going to take me a few shots early on. And he has not taken a shot.
Just shows
that wouldn't have happened to me.
No kidding. And there is a foul by Abdul Rahim. Now, let me ask you something. That's a very good point, Eddie. Have you ever come out before a game and just, I mean, buried everything, got into a game and couldn't shoot anything?
And couldn't make it. You know what? And that's funny because I thought that I would have a great game. And some of my best games was a game where in the warm-ups I couldn't buy a shot. And what it does is you say, man, I couldn't buy a shot. So when the game starts, you concentrate even harder on making it. Sometimes when you make too many in the warm-ups, you get a little cocky and you get in the game and you don't shoot them as good because you think it's going to go in.
Well, Nash has finally scored 2 points in the game. Just amazing. He's taken 1 shot. Biggest lead now for the Suns by 10 with a minute 19 to go. And it comes now to Abdul Rahim. Feeds it out to Miles. Miles Q in his face and doesn't get the bounce. And Randolph with an unorthodox follow.
He is strong.
59-51. Randolph now with 16 points in the game. Just a blue-collar guy. He does all that dirt work inside, as our good friend Cotton would say. Here's Joe Johnson bringing it out now to Shawn Marion into the corner. Joe Johnson, no. Follow tip not there. Rebound is cleared by Abdul Rahim. Joe Johnson, 1 of 5 for the field tonight.
Portland has a 2-for-1 situation here. They're going to try to get the ball up in a hurry so they can get another possession.
And there they go. Miles and Marion got him. Marion almost pulled off the block, but there was body contact.
Yeah, I thought that was all ball. And Darius Miles did a good job, though, of getting the body contact, because if he didn't, that would have been going the other way.
Miles is not a good free throw shooter. Let's watch it again. Body contact.
Isn't that a part of the game?
I would think so, but in this instance, no. I said Miles can't shoot free throws.
So you should have said he can
Yeah,
shoot.
I know it. He hits the free throw. Patterson comes in for Abdul Rahim. Boy, I tell you what, they are deep in the bench. They just keep running people in here.
I think the difference, Gary, is that their point guards are offensive-minded. And Steve Nash can score, but he's not offensive-minded in that area.
And we're going to have a loose ball foul, and it's going to go on Randolph, tagging one of the Suns. He was hanging on to him, and they caught him. I tell you, Randolph is one of those guys who has kind of a nasty way of playing inside.
Well, because he's not that athletic, per se, so he does the dirty work to try to get the basketball, and that time grabbing onto Amari's shirt to allow his teammate to get the basketball.
And so that will send Stoudemire to the line. He's only 2 of 6 from the line tonight. 24 points for Stoudemire, who's well on his way to his 11th 30-point game. He gets a bounce, 60-52. So the Suns, after a shaky first quarter when they scored only 22 points, have come back strong in this quarter. They have outscored Portland now 39-22. Quick outlet. Where did Randolph sneak in? He didn't even come back to the other end, did he?
And you know the messed up thing about that is they get another possession because they scored that in less than a second.
Somebody lost him. I don't know how in the world he got down there. Here's Nash, a running left-hander, and he hits that.
I'm going to call Randolph sneaky.
I guess
he really snuck past everybody there.
Did he do go over and talk to the coach or something? I never saw him.
Yeah, I used to try that move too. He did. He went over near the sideline, and the Suns forgot about him.
41 points in this quarter for the Suns. 41.
Yeah, you can bet Nick Van Exel's probably going to put this shot up.
How would you figure that? Just because this is what he loves to do, and he got it to go, and that'll count. I tell you what, he will take the shot at crunch time, and he took one at the end of this first half. And this quarter was brilliant for the Suns.
Teammates.
So we're going to go with the same fives that open the ball games for both the Blazers and the Suns. Suns trying to pick up victory number 26. Coming in here at the start of the night, 25-4, best start ever in franchise history. And it comes to Randolph. Spin move, Amari cut him off. Good defense that time by Stoudemire. Here comes Steve Nash the other way. Nash took only 2 shots in the first half. Out it comes to Joe Johnson. Van Exel tries to poke it away and does. Van Exel pulled it off. Off it comes to Abdul Rahim. Here's Anderson, who was shaken up in the first half and played only 15 minutes.
Yeah, you rarely see Joe Johnson lose the basketball off the dribble. That time, Nick Van Exel got a hand on it.
Excuse me, Eddie. Off it comes now to Van Exel, and he's hung up in the air. And here come the Suns. Q will finish easily, and the Suns out running, and they get a dividend.
Well, Portland, they turned the basketball over, and give the Suns credit, though. They have been active with their hands defensively in the passing lane.
13 turnovers now by the Blazers, led to 18 points in this game. That's big. Here now is Abdul Rahim. He is so silky smooth. He's a player.
If you let him catch it in the paint, he just catches on fire. He's very difficult to guard down there. You have to really force him to catch it on the perimeter.
Boy, at 6'9", he doesn't look that big, but he is very effective. Averaged 20 points in his career. Then having some injury problems, wasn't happy with the trade, wants to be traded again. His contract comes up at the end of the year. Here's Q, a long 3 as the shot clock was winding down. 4 seconds on the shot clock, and he released that long 3. 65-58 Suns thus far, 3 of 9 behind the line. And there's Van Exel trying to feed Randolph. Abdul Rahim digs it out, blocked by Marion. Good defense by Sean. Portland ball with 8 to shoot.
Yeah, well, the difference in Abdul Rahim and now in a few years ago is once he caught the ball in the paint, he can elevate and dunk on it. But he's put on some weight, so now he looks for body contact, and that time they did not bail him out.
So they now will give him 21 seconds on the shot clock. They moved it up. And here is Anderson now. Followaway, and Derek Anderson, the former Kentucky standout who played on that NCAA championship team at 96. It's back now to a 5-point game. Biggest lead has been 10 for the Suns. Marion with a 3. And the rebound by Van Exel. So the Suns settling for a couple of 3s.
Yeah, and I think they should come out trying to get the ball inside to Amari. He has the monster game going right now. You want to keep establishing your game inside.
Miles skip pass. They bring it out now to Randolph. Randolph, not a great ball handler. Gets it off now to Anderson. Van Exel with 7 on the shot clock. wedges his way in, gets it to Abdul Rahim. It's swatted away. Here comes Nash the other way. And as he goes down the middle, he's going to get the foul. And that foul is going to send. Nope, they're not going to say he was fouled while shooting. They'll take it side out. Q with now 2 steals in the ball game. Out it comes to Joe Johnson. He will pop and not get it. And J.J. still trying to find the range. He's 1 of 6. Here's Miles all the way in. 6'9". I mean, he's all arms and legs. Randolph, that should be an offensive foul. He runs in and over Q.
And if you're a Suns defender, anytime Randolph catches the basketball, just get on his left hand. I mean, because he wants to go left a majority of the time. If you get there, you can force him into a tough shot or a turnover.
That's the 3rd foul against Randolph. Randolph is not a good ball handler. He gets outside and his effectiveness really cut down. 15 turnovers against Portland. JJ again. Boy, it's just not going for him.
Well, you know, and I wish I could say it's his form, but it's not. Right now it's between the ears. And as a shooter, I've been there and done it. And I think the key thing for Joe Johnson is to try to get easier shots inside. He's getting caught on the perimeter, and he's having to take the shots because they're wide open.
Randolph has it batted away, 7 on the shot clock. Now, I find it hard to believe that it was ever between your ears as far as shooting was concerned.
Well, it plays games with you, Gary, no doubt about it. And I have to admit, you know, maybe once or twice in my career, I went through that, but it can play games with you. And I'm looking at Joe shoot the ball. I don't know if it's more of his mechanics than just psychologically. You got to believe it's going in because there's some guys that's been in this league, Gary, that had ugly shots and the ball went in. Clyde Drexler, Tim Hardaway. I mean, you can name a lot of guys. Michael Redd with that quick, ugly release he had, but it goes in because he has confidence.
Now, Anderson's hit a couple of shots here in this quarter, and it's a 3-point game, 65-62. Suns have scored only 2 points in this quarter. Inside now is Amari. Wrestle the ball away from him. A 6-0 run right now for Portland, and they can tie with a 3. Here's Van Exel, and you can see the shooting. The Suns really struggling, and that's going to be a foul inside. I tell you, this Portland team is playing very efficiently right now.
Well, they feel like they can beat the Suns, and they're not intimidated. And it's tough to intimidate teams when you're a running team. I remember playing against, you know, the Denver Nuggets when they had Paul Westhead as a coach. I mean, the guy just wanted to run. Well, you enjoy that because it's no stress on you as a defense. You're not worried about banging inside with somebody all night. You're just going to run. And Portland feels really good about themselves right now and that they can get it done against a team that loves to run the basketball.
Amari wanted a foul at this end and then ended up committing a foul at the other end. Miles gets 1 of 2 free throws. Marion comes down to the rebound. Marion with 7 rebounds to go with 10 points. Nash dumps it into Sean. Sean up, elevates, count it. And the foul on Abdul Rahim. Boy, was that quickly done.
Well, just credit the outlet pass and then Steve Nash pushing it up and recognizing who to get the basketball to in a hurry. And he's as good as anyone in the league right now at doing just that. And Sean Marion getting it up quick.
And Nash now with 8 assists. He's had 10+ assists in 20 of 29 games. And he already has 8 here in the 3rd quarter. A 3-point play by Marion. So the Suns bump it up to a 68-63 lead. 8 minutes to go in the 3rd. And Exel thus far in the game has only 2 points, 1 of 4. He struggled last night with his shooting, but at any moment that could change. He is that type of guy who you think you got him under control and then bang, he explodes on you. Here is Anderson. Anderson's starting to feel it now after hitting a couple. Nice job by Marion. He poked it away and got the rebound.
Well, that was an athletic rebound.
Yes, sir. And Amari fouled on the way to the basket by Darius Miles.
You know, the reason I say that is because Abdul Rahim had inside position. I mean, he had it, and Sean Marion just elevated, leaped over him, and got a hand on the basketball to get it out, and then doing what you should always do when you're a Phoenix Suns, run the floor.
He has 8 rebounds, averaging 11.2 at the start of the night, 4th in the league. Amari at the line again. Amari getting there a lot. He's hit half of them now. Goes to 5 for 9 with that one. Ruben Patterson now will check in for Portland. Abdul Rahim will sit down. Abdul Rahim just picked up his 4th foul.
Yeah, that's huge right there because he hasn't scored a bunch of points, but he has just been around that painted area.
So Amari connects on 1 of 2, and that's exactly what he's shooting from the line, 50%. 69-63. Anderson brings it out now to Van Exel. They load it inside of Miles. Kick it outside. Anderson wide open look. You can see this guy starting to find the range and get some confidence.
The best defense on Derek Anderson in his career so far has been injury. He has not been able to stay healthy over a period of time, and I think that's negated what he can really do on the court.
Yeah, he was out 31 games last year. The herniated disc in his back. He has 6 points in this quarter. Shot missing by Nash. Amari digs it out in the corner. Marion to Amari to the hole. Beautifully done.
How does he make that shot? I mean, he took a hit in the head that time.
I tell you, I never am amazed, but I am always impressed.
I don't know what to say.
71-65. Stoudemire with 29. He's 1 point away from his 11th 30-point game. Miles gets it in low, then almost threw it away. Van Exel, don't get this guy going. That's a 3.
They got lucky there because Derek Miles was not passing the ball to Nick Van Exel.
Van Exel able to register a basket. He has 5. We have a pushing foul inside against Portland. Let's go back to this amazing play by Stoudemire.
Again, the ability to know that he is going to get hit. He knows he's going to get hit. He's ready to get hit, but yet he concentrates and understands how to get the basketball up and in the hoop.
That foul was on Darius Miles. Side out to the Suns. Nash thought about it. They switch now. Miles is on Nash, and Nash shoots it over him, but couldn't get it to go. Miles will bring it out. Darius Miles. I saw him play in high school. I drove over from St. Louis to watch him in East St. Louis, Illinois. I've never seen a high school player as good as he was at that time.
Well, I tell you, he carried 3 times, and they finally called it. I mean, it was like, hey, let him get away with it twice.
So Miles is still adjusting. There's some people feel that he overestimated his ability coming to the league, but I think as time goes on, as you said it earlier, he's going to get better and better.
Because he has a good feel for the game.
71-68 now. We're back to a 3-point game. Amari gets it outside to Joe Johnson. 10 on the shot clock. Joe goes in, keeps going to the left hand. Nicely done. He just kept going. No one stopped him.
Look at Derek Anderson on his hip. And Derek Anderson is at Joe's mercy if he just gets there because he can get him right to the bucket.
JJ with 6 points in the game. 5.5 minutes to go in the third. It's tough when people realize you have the best record in the NBA. They bring their A game every night. And there is Miles. He's going to be fouled by Sean Marion. Quarter, and I tell you, this Portland team, he's shooting 63% of this quarter.
And still losing.
36.
That has to be discouraging somewhat in that they aren't ahead in this ballgame.
There's a little jump hook by Darius Miles, and he does the cue pounding of the forehead, and it's a 3-point game. And Miles has 14 points. After scoring only 6 last night in that win over Golden State. Nash brings it out. They switch. Zach Randolph on him. He realizes the mismatch. Goes in. Elevates. Stephen Hunter came in, tried to follow, but mistimed the jump. Van Exel into the offensive end. I tell you, this Portland team is one of these teams that you're going to have a handful of a game with them every time you go against him. Miles goes in, gets his own rebound, and we're going to have a foul. It's against the Suns, and it's going to go on Quentin Richardson.
We got a nice little battle going on here, and I like that because, you know, you enjoy 2 talented guys going at one another. Before the timeout, Sean Marion and Darius Miles had a few words for one another. And so it's continued here, whereas now it seems like every time Miles gets the basketball, he wants to challenge Sean Marion.
So it'll be side out to Portland. Richardson now with his first foul of the night. Van Exel picked up by Nash. They extend the defense on Anderson, who had that hot hand a moment ago in the third quarter. He's open again, and he's going to pop a 3. Not this time. And the rebound cleared and hammered home by Darius Miles.
Well, he's elevated his game. Now he gives Sean Marion the muscle shot where he just kind of curls up his bicep.
He's now outscored his buddy by 2. Quentin Richardson. Nash not able to get it to go. Tracked down by Van Exel. And Portland can take the lead. 73-72. Anderson out to Van Exel. Van Exel wheels it out. Miles again, and you got to call glass if you want that to go in.
He got a little too far out. If you want to talk some junk, you better get in your range where you can heat up. Right there, he needed a fur coat on. If he's too cold, he can't hit that shot.
Here's Q off now to Stephen Hunter. Hunter, nice move. Those are things Stephen Hunter wasn't doing early in the year.
He surprises you every game with something that he does, but he has good footwork, Gary. And when you have a base of good footwork, you can improve your offensive game.
6 points now for Hunter. Suns up 75-72. Van Exel swinging around to Anderson. Anderson, Randolph is squaring up. He wanted the ball. They didn't get it to him. They swing it now to Miles. Miles hung up to Anderson. 2 on the shot clock. And good defense that time by the Suns. Steve Nash the other way. Nash still with 8 assists in the ball game. Wheels it out. Casey Jacobson with a 3-ball. No. And Anderson comes down with it.
Yeah, I think Steve Nash with this group on the floor, he's got to look at the bucket because the Suns aren't getting the offensive output across their starting 5 right now. So I think he has to start being more aggressive and looking at the basket.
Well, Amari and Joe Johnson are going to come back in as you speak. Here's Van Exel picked up by Nash. Van Exel running one-hander, and Nash fouled it.
The basket because there's going to be times this year where that shot's not going to go.
Eddie, I got to ask you, look where Nick Van Exel lines up for his free throw. Now, why does he do that?
I don't know why, and I've always asked myself that question. But I think the key thing with any free throw is you have to feel comfortable on the line, and that obviously is an area where he feels comfortable. I mean, one of the best shooters to play, I played with him for a number of years, Dana Barros, used to shoot the ball off to the left side of the free throw line and about 2 steps back. So you can shoot the ball anywhere in that circle area. He chooses to shoot it there.
He's an 81% free throw shooter, so it must work.
Yeah, that's why you don't argue with him.
1 of 2. It's a 2-point game. Joe Johnson floats. Got it. Joe Johnson's had a couple of nice floating shots. 8 points for JJ.
That'll bring the jump shot back. See, when you're able to get inside like that and get it in, I mean, that's when the confidence on the 15-footer will come back to you.
Anderson now with the feed into Miles. Miles has really played a strong game. 16 points and 8 rebounds. Backs in. That should be an offensive foul. And it's not. Miles' shot goes. Marion hit the deck. No harm, no foul, I guess.
Well, the thing is, the officials are looking at Darius Miles and saying, well, he's about 225, 230 wet. And so how did he knock Sean Marion back that hard?
And there's JJ, and you said it. He hit the 3. That little shot may have gotten him going, and Fulton Homes will donate another $150 to Suns Charities. That just kind of opened up some confidence for him.
That's it. That's all it takes.
They're 4 of 14 now.
Everything is going through Darius Miles right now.
Here's Anderson, brings it off now to Ruben Patterson. Patterson, a bulldog, goes into the left hand. I mean, he will attack it.
He is dirt strong. I don't give that dirt strong title to too many people, but Ruben Patterson, oh, he's dirt strong.
Not only that, he's got some toughness. He's got that warlike attitude. He'll come after you. 80-77. Suns will lead. 1:15 to go in the 3rd. Hunter goes in, pulls up, doesn't get it, gets his own rebound, gets it to JJ on a deflection. That was a great effort by Stephen Hunter, keeping it alive.
The thing with Stephen Hunter, I'm telling you, he's 7 feet tall. He puts his arms up, which are pretty long. He's about 8 feet. So he's able to get the basketball a lot quicker than most guys.
Johnson now with 13 points. He's coming on here in this 3rd quarter. Miles backing in on Marion. Miles really working hard to get his shot, and that's going to be 3 seconds in the lane.
Well, a 5-second violation. Yeah, that rule, you don't see it much anymore because everybody wants to shoot jump shots, but the Charles Barkley rule, there's a rebound there, and got lucky there. The Suns did, went right to Joe Johnson, but that Charles Barkley rule, they don't want you to back the basketball down for more than 5 seconds. Darius Miles got caught.
So it was a 5-second, not 3 seconds in the lane. Same result, a turnover, and that's 17 against Portland. 82-77. JJ picked up now by Miles. JJ's feeling it right now, Eddie. Not there, but you could just see all of a sudden his confidence started to pick up.
You're right, and he wanted that one to go.
Here's Damon Stoudemire. The jitterbug goes inside. I mean, he is quick. Abdul Rahim against Marion, and Marion got a piece of it. And that'll be his 4th foul.
Yeah, well, they have, I guess, made it up their mind that they're going to attack Sean Marion. And Sean has had to really defend in this game. And, to me, I'm surprised he only has 4 because he has had to defend a number of guys on a one-on-one basis throughout the course of this ball game. And that time got called for the ticky-tick foul on the elbow.
Abdul Rahim with the free throw. To back up your point, Eddie, he's having to guard so many power forwards. He's only 6'7". I'm surprised in some ways they don't go after him more often. As now Travis Outlaw comes into the game for Portland.
You know, again, as I talked about, when you go around the circle and you see a team again, they watch film, they try to find your weakness. You be ready for it. And I think Shawn Marion understands as long as he continues to play power forward, they're going to try to find a weakness in this team, and they're going to try to attack him.
Abdur-Rahim in double figures. They have 3 guys in double figures, led by Miles with 18. 12 seconds left in the quarter. About a half a second difference. Shot game clock. Amari's going to be fouled as he goes up. So they get a piece of him on his way to the basket. And Abdur-Rahim has picked up the foul, and that will be against Sharif, his 4th foul. And Amari will go to the line. Q's going to come in. Also, Randolph will come in for Portland. 7 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. It's been a good quarter, but the issue is far from being decided. Amari really struggling at the line tonight. 5 of 11. And Abdur-Rahim will come out. They get him out after the 4th foul. Randolph will come in. Richardson comes in for Marion, who also has 4 fouls. And we're going to have yet another addition. Derek Anderson will check in.
Amari Stoudemire has taken, with this next attempt, he will have taken more free throws than the entire Portland Trailblazer team in this game so far. They're 7 of 11.
This could give him his 11th 30-point game, and does. 30 points for Amari. 83-79. Look at Damon Stoudemire. He got down so quickly. Casey stays with it and deflected out. A lot of contact. No foul. Mike D'Antoni can't figure it out. The Suns will get the ball with 1.7 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know why that foul wasn't called. I mean, he basically just, I thought the police would come in and handcuff him.
And here's J.O.J., and he almost hit that.
That one as well.
And has 13 points in the game. We start the 4th quarter. Telfair has come in. Przybilla has come into the ball game. Out it comes to Q. Q with a 3. No. And so Q tonight not on target like he was in the first meeting when he hit 8 threes. As tonight he is 2 of 5.
He got off to a good start offensively though, but as can happen in a team that's loaded with offensive players, the ball has not seen his hands.
Telfair tries to feed it inside and broken out by Q. Good play by Q. Off it comes now to Joe Johnson. I think it's interesting that Maurice Cheeks brings Telfair in here to start the 4th quarter. Thrown away. Randolph comes over it. Here comes Ruben Patterson. Patterson will go to the hole. You knew he was going to continue on with that one.
Well, when Ruben Patterson comes at you, and players won't admit it, you have to take the charge because you're a professional, but you're really not looking forward to it.
I understand. It's like a big running back in football. No one wants to make the contact, make the tackle. And there's the shot missing. Przybilla hits the other way. They can tie here. Telfair looks at it, backs it out, feeds to Przybilla. He loads it up. I thought he traveled, gets it out to Patterson, not able to tie it up. Back they come the other way. Q outside, shakes Patterson, nice move. Inside it goes to Amari, count it! 32 points and a chance at a 3-point play.
Defensively, you can't do anything with him. Przybilla did everything that he could other than grab it. He didn't want to get the foul. He just tried to be aggressive, put his hand up. And he got called for the foul, and then Amari is still able to concentrate and get it in.
Przybilla with his 3rd foul of the night. The former University of Minnesota standout. Amari gets his free throw to go. 86-81. Tell you what, he may be headed for a record night before this thing is over. 38 points, his career high. He has already 33, and we have over 10 minutes to go. Telfair will feed in now to Randolph. Randolph, that big body of his, dumps it out to Telfair with 4 on the shot clock. Damon Stoudemire, not a good look at that one. Amari with a rebound. Stoudemire with 8 rebounds in the ball game. Joe Johnson, he's fouled by Stoudemire, who reached in as he continued his move inside.
You don't see Amari and Stephen Hunter in a game with each other a lot. And I really like this combination because I think as the season goes on, I think, Mike D'Antoni might have to tweak the lineup every now and then against teams that I think give the Suns problems. The Miamis, the San Antonios, the Minnesotas, those teams that have 7-footers on their front line. That means 2 of them he might have to.
There's Hunter. You were just talking about how valuable he can be, and he missed the He followed the missed shot by Joe Johnson. He is fouled. Good effort by Hunter. Side out to the Suns.
You know, Gary, one of the reasons I say that is because after we look at the rebound here by Hunter is in the San Antonio game, they decided not to double team the Suns. And they said, Amar'e Stoudemire, you're going to get 37 points. And he did. But on the other hand, the Suns double teamed Duncan. And that really put Amar'e Stoudemire in a situation to maybe not get in foul trouble. I don't think he was aggressive. With Hunter maybe in there, might be some good things can happen there.
3 fouls against Portland. Suns yet to commit one. Abdul Rahim is checked in. There's Patterson just bodying up against Amar'e. Amar'e not able to get the shot to go. Here comes Damon Stoudemire, who was the Rookie of the Year when he came to the league, the smallest ever to win that award. And away from the ball, we've got a foul, and the foul is on Stephen Hunter. And that will be 4 on Hunter. Side out to Portland.
You know, I bet you if you talk to Damon Stoudemire, because after that rookie year, he probably thought that he was going to go nothing but way up. And it hasn't been that way for him. He's had some solid seasons, but not what you expected by the way he started out in Toronto.
And so it comes off now to Randolph. Double team on Randolph. 10 on the shot clock. Good defense. Out to Stoudemire. Stoudemire keeps it alive to Telfair. Telfair from the corner. Not there. And batted around. Hunter kept it alive for a moment. And Quentin picks their pocket. Off it comes now to JJ. To Amar'e!
If we just let the crowd, they can describe that one.
And I'm telling you, the basket may never be the same. 8:54 to go on this one. Suns up 88-81. Suns with 23 fast break points to the Blazers 4. As the up-tempo again paying off. Telfair kicks it out. Darius Miles with the 2. And the rebound by Casey Jacobson. Jacobson brings it out to Joe Johnson. Again, I'm surprised Maurice Cheeks has Telfair down in crunch time. He did have a 14-point game last night. And he reaches in. Maybe that's the reason. And that'll be a foul on Joe Johnson.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
So Telfair, the rookie out of Abraham Lincoln High School in Brooklyn.
Well, Joe dancing with the basketball too much right there. I mean, against a small guy, they can just measure you and then pick your pocket. I mean, I played with a guy, Muggsy Bogues, who would tell us after a timeout when he was going to steal the basketball from a guy, because they just rely on their quickness, and Joe standing still dribbling gave him that opportunity to knock it away.
Well, Muggsy Bogues was 5'4". He was at your kneecaps.
That's right.
When you came up the floor.
Yeah, you got that right.
Telfair goes in, spin move, not able to get it. The kid plays like he belongs, and the Suns with a 7-point lead with 8 minutes to go.
He can get his shot off. It's not like he's having a tough time getting his shot off.
Well, he gets better with the shooting end of it. He could be a very good player. It's kind of a gamble. 13th pick in the first round. A lot of people thought that was too high to pick him. Out it comes down to Amar'e. Amar'e up. Yes. And Amar'e now with 37.
Get him the basketball. I mean, he should touch it every time down the floor right now.
He is 15 of 21 from the field. And it comes down to Miles. Miles kicks it out. Telfair into the corner. Abdul Rahim, a 2. And Rahim makes it a 90-83 lead for the Suns.
He can make that shot. I mean, you have to honor that.
He has 12 points in the game. You can see in the quarter. 2 of 7 for the guys from the Pacific Northwest. Suns have hit 3 of 7. Here's Amar'e facing up. You said let him touch it again. And he does. And he has now scored a career-high 39 points.
And I told him coming in through the tunnel at the second half. I said, if you stay out of foul trouble, you'll hit 45 in this game. He just laughed at me.
Well, he's well on his way with 7 minutes to go. Here's Randolph. And Miles, he tried to load it up, lost it. Randolph tries to keep it alive. That ball will be poked out to Joe Johnson. JJ's got to be careful. Telfair around him. And as they go up the floor, a foul is called. That'll stop the action with 6:49. Derek Anderson will come in for Portland. The foul is going to go against Telfair. And there is the career high, 39. He had 38 his rookie year against Minnesota. Came back with another 38-point game earlier this year. And this is the one that put him over the top.
Well, and this is the one that I think describes how good his game is now. Because last year, that shot was not going. And and teams would back off of him. This year, they can't do it.
You know, that's not fair to be able to shoot that ball outside and go inside how he does. And Q, who seems to always hit the timely shot, just buried a three. And Fulton Holmes will donate another $150 to Suns Charity. Biggest lead of the game for Phoenix. Well, they need to keep it going.
They do, because this game is nowhere near over. The Portland Trailblazers can run them off in a hurry as well.
Shawn Marion at the scorer's table to come into the next break. In it comes now to Randolph. Suns shooting 55% of the quarter, and there's a nice move inside by Darius Miles.
Weak side defense was on vacation. No way Darius Miles should have got that high percentage shot.
Now he's 1 point from his season high. He has 20 for the night. Here's Nash going in. Feeds it beautifully to Stephen Hunter. Oh, is that fun to watch. And that is now for Nash, his 9th assist. Oh, is that fun.
And Stephen Hunter got a second chance to stay in the game because Shawn Marion couldn't substitute.
And that's going to be a turnover. That's another palming the ball, traveling call against Miles. Back into live action now. Nash with 9 assists, gets it into Amari, wheels in, and they're going to wave the basket off. A foul. It's going to go against Portland. Amari just kept going in, going in. They're going to call the foul on Randolph. And that's a 15 foul. That's a 15 foul against Portland.
I mean, again, they really haven't doubled Amari aggressively in this game, which has really surprised me, especially being 16 for 22 so far in the game. You think they would decide and change it. But this guy has taken, after this free throw, 5 more free throws than the Portland Trailblazers. Unbelievable.
And he's had his first 40-point game of his career. 98-85. I tell you, this Suns team now close to their 8th straight win at home. Trying to go to 26-4. Deflected by Stoudemire. Stoudemire continues up the floor.
I mean, it's just a show. I mean, it's the Stoudemire show right here. Hey, he got his rest on New Year's Eve.
I guess so.
Well, you know, he's still too young to go to the club.
The 3 days rest helped him. 42. There's Abdul Rahim, blocked by Amari. They're going to call a foul. That easily could have been a jump ball. I tell you, this place is alive. It's electric. And a lot of it is because of number 32.
And because people sense that he enjoys playing the game, man. That's the key thing. The look on his face, the way he smiles when things happen. And how many big guys can do this?
I tell you what, the place, there's just a gasp as he was getting ready to go down the floor. They knew something was going to happen. And sure enough, Amari Stoudemire delivered.
Well, I told him 45 coming out the tunnel in the second half. I guess I was wrong, and I guess he'll probably let me know, Eddie, don't ever underestimate me again.
Hey, I guess so. There's 5 minutes left in this thing. So the free throws, it stays at 185. Suns with their biggest lead of the game. Inside 5 to go. I'll tell you what, this crowd is enjoying this. Nash tried to feed Stephen Hunter. That time just a little too difficult. Thrown away, and against the Suns, that'll be their 10th turnover tonight.
I'm going to get on Stephen Hunter there. Steve, when does Steve Nash not pass the ball? Be ready.
You're going to get it. You just wait long enough. Here now is Van Exel. Van Exel swings it outside Abdul Rahim. Portland looks like they're a little bit stunned right now. Randolph fall away, and Randolph able to hit the shot. Randolph with 20, Miles with 20. They have one other guy in double figures, Abdul Rahim with 12. I want Nash to get into double figures and assists. He needs one more with 4:19 to go.
Keep giving it to Amari. I think it's a guarantee.
And here's Hunter. He goes in and he's stripped and fouled. Hunter tonight, I think, Eddie, has offensively played as well as he's played all year.
Well, but what you see Mike D'Antoni slowly tinkering with the lineup. You see it because at this point in the game, games ago, they're small again. You know, Stephen Hunter's on the bench. But I think he understands, and I think he may be trying to send a message to his team that they're going to need Stephen Hunter and Amari on the floor together against certain teams. And this tandem works pretty good together.
You know, one thing that's picked up for Hunter is his free throw shooting. He's worked awfully hard at it. I mean, he's only on at 54%, but that's above his career, and he has really worked hard before every game with his free throw shooting. He's hit his first of the night, 101-87. He just looks better at the line.
It does. I mean, everything looks better with him. And this guy's playing with a dislocated finger as well. He's hungry to get minutes on the floor. Nothing's going to hold him back. Those are the type of players coaches love.
Well, and he knows that Jake Bosca's going to come off the injured list for the next game, and he doesn't want to give up any of those minutes as Van Exel with a nice floater. 102-89. Van Exel, I should say, Bosco has been on the injured list for 23 days after that emergency appendectomy. They thought about bringing him up tonight, elected to wait for another game, and that would be in Minnesota Tuesday night. There's the steal by Miles. Miles to the hole. Miles tonight has shown me he's got a lot of upside to his game.
Yeah, he's played solid, no doubt about it. He's played a solid game, and he's going to get better.
102-91. In it comes to Stoudemire with 42 big ones. Nope. Oh, no! I don't believe it. 44 points.
It was like playing like he was back in grammar school. The Portland Trailblazer bench looked at each other and said, wow.
And Maurice Cheeks is down there talking to himself. He can't believe
what
it.
What do you think he's saying?
He's probably saying, I don't want to play this guy anymore.
No, he's probably saying, why didn't I draft him? Well, he said he was raw. Yeah, he's raw, right?
Eddie, I'm telling you, it is amazing to see what Amar'e Stoudemire does. I mean, you come here every night, and you're still amazed.
It started at the end of last year. The man averaged over 23, 24 games at the end of last year. You saw it coming.
Here's Abdul Rahim. He's going to get a foul. Let's see what they give him, the continuation or foul before the shot. Amar'e didn't like the call. That will be his third foul. Well, you look at what Amar'e has done here tonight as you look at this again.
Well, he should have let him go, and he did. But, again, the official, gave Abdul Rahim the benefit of the doubt there.
Now, this is the only negative I can bring up tonight about Amar'e. If he had hit any percentage free throw-wise, he'd had a 50-point game tonight.
Well, don't rule it out. Don't rule it out.
8 of 15 from the free throw line. Into the corner goes to Joe Johnson with that double-double as Amar'e. Well, how about 46? This is incredible what we're watching tonight.
And you know what? Out of this 46, out of the 19 baskets he scored, I bet you 14 have been dunks.
But he was second only to Shaquille O'Neal in dunks at the start of the night. Miles thought he was fouled. Out it comes down to Nash. Nash wheels it. Joe Johnson, a three. No. Quinton back taps it. Suns have another 24 on the shot clock. Joe Johnson going in. He's fouled on the way to the basket. He doesn't need that.
No.
Joe Johnson at the line. I mean, it's just interesting as you watch 3 straight dunks by Amar'e.
And this is the athletic part. This is when a center has to guard this. No way. They can't guard him. And then being patient to let the offense work itself and then going up and knocking it down. That's just easy.
And the free throws make it 108-93. Joe Johnson now with 15 points in the ball game.
Better believe his teammates know that he has 46. And they're going to try to get him the basketball.
And as wheeling in, they're going to get a foul on Joe Johnson. They got a piece of Darius Miles. Richie Fromm is going to come into the ball game now for Portland. You know what's interesting about this game is different guys pick up the Suns at different times. Look at Nash. He has only 4 points. He's taken only 6 shots tonight. I mean, seemingly there's one guy that kind of steps aside and lets everybody else explode offensively.
Well, I think the team is playing itself out in that you know who the go-to guy is, and that's Amar'e. I mean, Amar'e his average is going to go up after this game, but he came in around 25, 26 a game. So you know that he's going to give it to you. And so you kind of like hope that 2 of the other 3 guys can have a good offensive output. And that's been the difference in why the Suns have won on a consistent basis this year. They have really played their roles out this season.
Darius Miles has a season-high 24 points. It's 108-95. Inside 2 minutes to go. So the Suns are going to win Their 14th game at all. Amari went to the line. He is going to be fouled. She will go to the line now as Abdul Rahim committed the foul inside. So Stoudemire's 8 of 15. So he has missed 7 free throws and still has a 46-point game as Abdul Rahim is fouled out.
You know, I think Portland, they know that they're going to try to get him 50. And I think Amari's going to have to get this 50 at the free throw line. I don't know if he's going to get another basket. They're going to reach out and foul him.
Now, we've had 4 guys in the history of the Suns organization to score 50 points. We're going to show you that as Amari now has 47. Chambers was 60 and 56. Tony Delk, that was in Sacramento, 53 points, and Clifford Robinson, that's the record in America West Arena with 50.
And I was with Tom when he got the 60 against his old team, Seattle, and there was still enough shots for me to get about 16 in that game.
I was going to ask, did you even touch the ball that night?
Please, come on now.
48 points for Stoudemire. Here's a chance now to give him 50, but then Marion goes up instead and scores. 112 to 95.
Yeah, I thought Sean might throw it back and let Amari finish it with a dunk, but that's not Sean's game. Just lay it up.
6 steals now for Sean Marion. Marion coming in 6th in the league, and there is Randolph making it 112 to 97. The crowd knowing that he needs 2 more.
And this might be the last chance he can get it because, you know, so you don't want to rub it into Portland. So he's got to get the basketball here in this possession.
And Nash does have double figures in assists with 10. Marion misses. Rom brings it down with a minute to go. There's Miles, and he's going to be fouled as he goes up the middle of the court.
And Mike D'Antoni he told Nash, he said, get the ball to Amari one more time. And, you know, that's key. Now, give the guy a chance to get his 50 points.
We should add that Charles Barkley in a playoff game had 56 points. And Miles at the line now, looking for his 25th point of the night. So you got to know that they're going to try somehow to get Amari one more crack at getting 50.
Well, get it to him. I mean, you know, he's earned it.
Miles makes it 112 to 97. And the crowd, look at him. They are hoping that somehow Amari can get 50. Look at this crowd.
I guarantee you he's getting his shot at.
Here he goes. Look at the crowd. They're on their feet. Yes! 50 points.
Unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
Everybody's up, applauding. Listen to the crowd as Telfer misses. Amari the rebound. 50 points.
Let him dribble it up. Let him run point guard this possession. Yeah, he deserves it.
Here's a long three. Huge with an exclamation point and another $150 to Suns Charities presented by Fulton Homes. How sweet it is. This is a happening here tonight. Everyone is on their feet. The congratulations are in order. How many 50-point games will he have before his career is over?
I think he'll have a few more. With his energy and the way that he plays, he will have a few more. Unbelievable effort, but unselfish play by his teammates got him the basketball on a consistent basis, and he had the game of his life. 20 of 27 from the field. You can't ask anything better, and the 50th point was the toughest one of the night.